Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This video obviously has taken away some bit of a thunder from my introduction to entity, and that's what happens. Like pictures speak the 1,000 words, videos speak 1,000 pictures. So I think you have seen a little bit on what we are, but I'll still give you a little more details before I get into a little bit of details on how data centers are helping and supporting the GCC initiative. So I think I will start first with the entity as a group, the global scale that we have, and then come down to the data center business of entity, and then come down to the India business of the data center business. So entity as a group is about $100 billion, and this is a magic number that obviously marketing wants to put up here, but it keeps fluctuating more than 100 and less than 100 depending on the yen pricing versus the US. This is almost like what we were reading some months ago regarding the two respected industries in India. Their wealth kept changing every day depending on the stock pricing. So similarly here, our revenue is around $100 billion, but I think as on date, because of yen depreciation, it might be a little lower than that. So it's just plus minus $100 billion. We are definitely still within the 100 Fortune companies, and we have more than 330,000 employees globally. Our heritage is definitely more than 100 years. It's 150 years, doesn't change. And we are the top 5 IT services provider globally again. On the data center side, we are number 3 globally. R&D spend, just like most of the Japanese companies, we spend a lot of money on innovation and R&D. $3.6 billion annually is what we spend on the R&D. And being a company which is in so many technology fields, whether it's IT services, networks, telecommunications, data centers, we have a huge network coverage in almost 190 countries. We are present in, obviously, 80 countries overall. Coming to the data center platform, which is more relevant to what we are speaking about today, globally we have 160 plus data centers in 4 continents, covering almost 20 countries. And we have most of the hyperscale customers, 7 out of the 10 hyperscale global customers, and obviously hundreds of enterprise customers, specifically financial services, and a lot of R&D companies, and now a lot of AI companies. As I mentioned, we have 1,500 network partners, very strong. And we also have submarine cables running through the globe. The good news is that in India, we are launching the submarine cable, which is owned partially by entity. And the landing is in Mumbai and Chennai. And that really gives a lot of boost and help to our data center business because we have our own submarine cable connecting us globally, starting through the connection that they have through the Southeast Asia. So the cable is called MIST because it connects Malaysia, India, Singapore, and Thailand. And then from there, it goes around the world. In terms of data center capacity, we are 1.5 gigawatt as we speak, targeting to double it in the next couple of years. Very soon, we will be 2 gigawatt plus globally again. And we have obviously 24/7 remote services, 99.999, how many times I can speak 99, uptime with more than 4,000 employees. Coming down to a smaller ecosystem of India, we are definitely the #1 data center provider in India for past many years, with more than 30% of the market share. 5 cities, we try to obviously cover the whole of India, starting from the north to the south, east and west, all the 4 cities. Here we are, and we have almost 300 megawatt of operational IT power, with additional 200 plus under development. So we'll be half a gigawatt in the next couple of years. As I said, we have pretty diverse and pretty large customer base, even in India. We have mostly all the big hyperscalers present in India, and we have one of the strongest enterprise customer base, which started many years ago, and it includes everything starting from, as I said, BFSI to a lot of multinational R&D companies, a lot of GCC companies, a lot of AI startups as well. We have one of the largest banks, global banks. We have 2 of the largest Indian banks with us. We have the largest credit card company with us, payment companies with us, and semiconductor and automobile manufacturers R&D center with us. Let's talk about why we are here today, as I said in the beginning, why in the GCC summit we are relevant. I think we are the backbone for you, and that's the connect that we have. A lot of data here, and I think this data you know better than us. This is all for you, so as I said, I mean, you are aware of all this data, but it's all here in the screen, what GCC is all about, how big are they, various numbers, 1,900 GCCs, they may go to 3,000 by 2030, 1.9 million employees, that can go to 3 million employees by 2030. So all these numbers I'm pretty sure that you are all aware of, but they are here. I think what is critical, of course, and again, you know better than me, is that the evolution of the GCC, which was more a cost center, and we spoke about it a couple of times since morning in the panels, it is moving more to innovation centers and transformation centers. And I think that is where the importance of having the right partners in terms of your backbone, in terms of your data center infrastructure, digital infrastructure requirement, becomes even more critical. I think the last panel was speaking about how compliance and regulation is becoming not something good to have, but of course something which is the most critical. And that is the one which is going to lead into various innovations and transformations. There is obviously the importance of compliance and regulations for GCC cannot be overemphasized. And I think these are the places where the partnerships that you have with your digital infrastructure partners, specifically data centers, of course, becomes even more critical. Because trust, again, trust was the topic in the last panel. Who do you trust with? Who do you trust with when you want to make them your digital partner? If you are going to need the data center capability and other technology capabilities, because NTT fortunately does not just provide the data center capability, but it provides the networks, it provides the managed services, security services, and you name it. We have the whole complete suite. Now, if that is what you need, that is what GCC needs, where do you go to? Obviously, you go to somebody you can trust. And who you can trust is a company which, as I said, is 150 years old with whatever I just showed on the screen here. So with this kind of a growth coming in GCC, and I think there's another interesting number I was reading a couple of days ago was IT services sector in India has grown over so many years, and I think now it has become roughly 5.4 million people, I think, around 5 million people, employees, and GCC is already 1.9 million. So the pace that GCC is growing in importance in the Indian ecosystem, again, cannot be overemphasized. We were talking always, I remember I started my career in Infosys when I came back to India in 2004. Incidentally, Mr. Shibulal, I don't know if he's still here, if he remembers me, that was almost 20 years ago when I started my career as a global accounts head in Infosys. Obviously $1 billion, and I remember we celebrated in Infosys $1 billion of revenue, and then we started counting how many IT companies are becoming $1 billion revenue companies. And I think now it's the time for GCCs to start tracking that, because if I'm not mistaken, and again, you know better, but I think there are, more than 25 companies now in India which are $1 billion revenue. We are totaling to almost $65 billion this year in revenue. Again, tracking to $100 billion in the next 3-4 years, 2030. So these numbers are staggering. And if this is the evolution path, if this is the growth, a couple of things, as I said, become extremely, extremely important, which is your digital backbone, which is the compliance and security and regulations, which is your partnership that you can trust in the long run. India, again, I think I just spoke about this. Again, these are all things that we all know, why GCC, India specifically market, and why is India becoming so important for the GCCs. We have talked about strategic location, we have talked about the talent availability or non-availability. Some people still claim that we don't have the right amount of talent, matching the proliferation and the demand that GCCs bring in. But I think there is work in progress, obviously, and we had the respected members of the panel in the first one, state governments, union governments. Obviously, everybody is trying to bridge that gap. So obviously, we have a lot of hope that the talent availability, which is obviously very good, will only keep getting better from here. And then I think cost efficiency, again, is something where the whole ecosystem of these offshore units started, whether it was the BPO units earlier and now it's GCCs. Everybody knows that the cost arbitrage is something that still is important, though not the prime driver, and obviously we don't want that to become the prime driver and the only driver. But I think against a typical 30-seater GCC in India, where the average cost would be, I think, $4 to $5 million in the US, it'll be less than $1 million in India. So it's maybe something like a 25%. But I think, as I said, cost arbitrage is not something that we want to be the sole driver, but it has to be more than that. It has to be more in terms of what innovation and transformation, what strategic help India GCCs can bring to the parent companies. Again, I think we have been speaking about these. These are the key trends. AI and automation. How is AI and automation going to help the GCCs? Again, there are a lot of AI startups in India. We will be boasting of a lot of good ecosystem coming up. We are already partnering with a lot of AI companies. Actually, I may just add here that the founder of entity GDC, which was erstwhile called NetMagic, he has also started up AI startup now, and he's also partnering with us, of course. So there are a lot of these AI startups that are partnering with entity. So this is going to be one of the important trends that will help in the overall evolution of this market. Blockchains, cloud computing, obviously cyber level threat, as I said, security, regulations, compliance, these are going to become more and more critical as we grow. And with all the data localization rules, security rules, safety rules in terms of data storage and processing, companies have to be extremely critical on these issues and understand who are the partners to go with if this becomes the most critical things for you. This is again an evolution of the GCCs. Many of you would have, I think, started your evolution from 2010s and you are in 2025 now. Everybody knows it started with a cost, mostly cost, and then talent arbitrage. Then it moved into the delivery excellence and innovations, and it's gaining ground in other important aspects, whether it's portfolio expansions, global roles, peer collaborations, even exporting the talent from India, again, which we spoke about in a couple of few panel discussions earlier. So these are value-driven operating models that GCCs are coming up with running business-critical operations. Same stuff. I don't think I want to really keep repeating this. This is all good stuff. How are the data centers helping GCCs? Obviously, many ways, more than one, and I've been speaking about that, and those are the reasons that I keep saying that the data center partnership for GCCs is so critical, because these are the areas where the foundation of the GCC in markets growth will be relevant. Data centers are obviously also no longer just storage infrastructures. I mean, they provide so many additional stuff that I spoke about. These are all strategic assets that empower the GCCs to function as those critical innovation hubs and deliver the high-value services. Whether it's, as I said, whether it's the network, it's the security, whether it is the other bundled services that come with the data center space and infrastructure. Entity data specifically, our proposition for the GCCs, we are obviously unrivaled global. We call ourselves global because we have the global scale, we have the global expertise, and we also have the local agility. And just to add a small point here, we have reorganized ourselves a little bit lately, and I think it's good for everybody to know that. So we are obviously a Japanese conglomerate, and we were working as one of the regions for them in India, with obviously a lot of technology sharing and expertise from Japan. We also have three other regions, which was Americas, Europe, APAC, and India was the fourth region. So the importance of India as a region was so high that India was kept as a separate region because of the growth potential in India. And now lately what we have done in the last 1 year is that we have brought all the 4 regions together as a global one company called GDC. Now, this entity GDC, of course, the advantages that we had earlier of getting all the expertise and knowledge and processes, good practices from Japan is kind of more expanded now because now we are getting it from our global peers as well. So now it's one company running one common P&L, running one common safety protocols, or in terms of the technology. One of the examples is that obviously with AI coming in, what we need is denser racks. Now, those denser racks, which used to be earlier 7, 8, 10 kilowatt per rack, is now 100 kilowatts and even more, 150. Obviously, the heating is so high that the air cooling, which was the norm earlier, is no longer going to work. We will need the liquid cooling. So that's the new technology what we have. In India, we started that. We were the first company, obviously, to start the liquid cooling technology, and we are running it in our Navi Mumbai data centers. Small, still in India, because it's an expensive technology. Going forward, obviously, the ask is more, and we are coming out with more new data centers which have the liquid cooling technology. But we have 200 megawatt, which is almost like, in terms of the total market in India, it's almost, I think, 30% of the market in India, of running liquid cooling technology in our other data centers in US. So the advantage of this global coming together for us is that we obviously share all this expertise. So we can say that we have 20 megawatt of cooling technology under operation in our US data center. So these are the things that the global advantages bring to us. At the same time, we are local. We have all of us here. We have the local agility. As I said, we have been here for 20 years plus now. We are, as I said, 30% of the market. So we have, my lot of colleagues are here. We have a small booth outside. You all can obviously go and meet them. So again, coming back to this global and local, as I mentioned earlier, 20 countries, 160 data centers. Number 3, actually, in terms of size, in terms of data centers specifically. So we are number 3. So there are 2 American giants, Equinix and Digital Realty, and then we are number 3. We have, of course, as I said earlier, we have a whole suite that we offer. Not necessarily under one entity GDC organization, but we have, as everybody might know, we have so many other sister companies, and under that whole suite, we offer all those other services, whether it's the network, whether it's security, managed services, everything. So cloud security, powerful AI automation tracks coming through them. We have the managed services, as I said, technology solutions, and we obviously have sustainability goals because our customer have goals, so we have to have those goals net zero by 2030. There are some use cases, some of the top names here. I think next year, if we again come to some summit of GCC, I'm sure I will have more coming from all of you. Right now, I can talk about these 4 important ones for us. We have world's top automobile manufacturer R&D unit with us. They are doing a key global hub, crucial part of their R&D network, largest research development center for them in the group. We have an R&D company headquartered in Stuttgart in Germany, with numerous international subsidiaries across Europe and Japan. Product portfolio covers their entire development life cycle with us. We have a semiconductor, not one, but many semiconductor global companies. Their infra and R&D setups with us. And we have world's largest contract maker of electronics and phones. So they are with us. So we have these use cases, existing clients that we have from the GCC domain, and we would obviously have much and many more after this conference, I'm sure. So that's where we are.